In the last few years, Doctor Who has been the major cause for a lot of public controversy, well, especially online, and it is without doubt it was falling out of favour with the classic fans of Doctor Who. However, recently YouGov has done a survey and they were asking which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the classic? Do you prefer New Who? Do you like both or not at all? The results are unsurprising and surprising at the same time, and we will be taking a look at those results in a minute, but first we will look at a Doctor Who TV article and as to why Doctor Who may be falling out of favour. Hello and welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Shout About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, switch on the notification bell so that you know I am releasing another video. We are almost at 1,500 subscribers, and that's all because of you, so thank you very much. We have now got a target of trying to make 2,000 subscribers by July, which is when the channel's second birthday is. So can we do it? It's only 500 off, so can we? Well, anyway, it doesn't matter if we don't, but thank you to everyone who supports the channel already. I cannot run this channel without you. I upload something every day via a video or some kind of interactive content, and we talk about Doctor Who every Sunday, and when we're not doing that, we are talking about woke. So YouGov, they conduct polls and they gathered data, and they decided to gather some data on Doctor Who. They surveyed 4,344 adults for this poll, and it was released on the 27th of March 2025. I will link the poll in the description below. People do ask me where I put my links, and they are always linked in the description, so please check there if I have any external links and you would like to peruse the statistics for yourself. So let's take a look at this article. Why current Doctor Who is losing public favour and what the data reveals. Feature by Joel Lewis. This week marked 20 years since the return of Doctor Who to our screens in 2005. As a statistics nerd, I was curious to see how the show is currently perceived with hard data, especially with such a milestone being reached. Conveniently, YouGov released a poll to mark the anniversary, offering some rather eye-opening insights into how the UK public feels about Doctor Who right now. Because this is a YouGov poll known for surveying a broad cross-section of the UK population, the results give us a reliable snapshot of more mainstream opinion, and unfortunately it is not at all flattering. For a series that has spanned just over 6 decades, the data suggests Doctor Who is now more of a niche interest than a cultural pillar it once was. The worrying words here is how Joel says it's a niche interest, well, within the cultural pillar that it once was. And to me, that is because the soft reboot is definitely targeting a minority rather than the majority. I've always been clear on where I've stood with having people like trans characters in the show. I don't mind a trans character being in there, but if you're going to make a song and dance about it and draw attention to aspects of the show that are there for political gain or ideological gain just to make a point, then that's when I have more of an issue with it. That's just an example. I have more issues with the current series, even though there were parts of it that were fine. If you would like to check out what I have to say about the current series, then I have plenty of videos on it on this channel. So the article continues. According to the survey, 26% of adults said they have never seen either version of the show, not the classic run from 1963 to 1989, and not the modern revival that has been on air since 2005. Among 18 to 24 years old, that figure jumps to a staggering 39%, suggesting the show is, in spite of RTD's assurances, struggling to connect with younger generations. And even among those who have watched Doctor Who, the level of enthusiasm is underwhelming. 20% said they preferred the classic series, while 15% favoured the current version. Another 10%, like both at the same time, but 20% said that they do not like either. On top of that, 9% said they did not know what they thought. Now, you will know that I know quite a few people within the classic fandom, and their interest for the show has definitely waned a lot. I've met so many people since covering Doctor Who on this channel, and what is concerning is the age stats. They kept jumping around saying that they were trying to aim, this is Doctor Who, this is RTD, they were trying to aim for this age bracket, but then because that was failing, they then said they were going to aim at my age bracket, and even that failed. And to me, that doesn't even make sense, because my sister, who is 7 years younger than me, remembers the re-release of Doctor Who, and even then she was not enticed to watch it. For reference, I'm one of those wretched, horrible, disgusting millennials. Okay, it's just a joke, but obviously I'm one of those millennials, and it didn't even meet with my generation, so go figure. So what does that mean? Looking at the age breakdown, older generations who grew up with or remember watching the original series are unsurprisingly more loyal to the classic era. Among over 65s, 34 prefer the original Doctor Who, 34% that is, while only 4% support the current iteration. The 50 to 64 group shows a similar trend, 32% for classic, just 10% for current. Younger viewers are much more inclined to favour the revival era, particularly those who grew up with it. But even in the most supportive group, 18 to 24 years old, only 26% said they preferred the modern version. That number drops to 22% among 25 to 49 years old, which is concerning considering this age group is arguably the core audience the current series should be engaging the most. In short, enthusiasm for modern Doctor Who isn't particularly strong, even among those you expect to be most invested in it. Worse still, the younger respondent, the more likely they were to have never seen Doctor Who at all. Nearly 40% of 18 to 24s and 31% of 25 to 49 said they had never watched either version, compared to just 15% of those aged 50 to 64. That feels like a huge red flag. The show is clearly not breaking through to newer generations the way it once did. And this is not just about generational preferences. General apathy cuts across board. Around 20 to 22% of every age group said they do not like either version, and don't know responses sit between 8 and 12%. That suggests a consistent level of disinterest among the wider public, not just in younger viewers, but across all demographics. Well, we will take a look at the chart of the full stats in a moment, because it's more clearer when it's more laid out. However, what I will say is it does reflect more of what you prefer generationally. However, with the new Doctor Who, it is not landing with its current generation that it's supposedly aiming at. RTD wanted to go younger, and that's not a good sign. And by younger, I mean younger, a lot younger than me and younger than my sister. And, well, obviously I haven't given my ages away, but I think you can probably gauge what our ages are. So it does tell you a lot. The big picture. At least from where I'm sitting, older audiences are keeping the flame of the classic series alive. The current era has some support among younger viewers, but even that is relatively soft, and among older viewers, support for the new era is virtually non-existent. Most concerning of all, the youngest adults are the most disengaged altogether. And if there's one thing this franchise needs to stay relevant. It is a new generation of fans. A lot of the new generation are watching short form content as well, so that probably does not help it. None of this is entirely shocking, especially given that Doctor Who's most recent run with Ncuti Gatwa in the lead did not exactly light up the ratings, and even RTD acknowledged the problems. While some fans like this current iteration, the overall audience figures doesn't reflect a resurgence in cultural relevance. With Ncuti Gatwa's second season on the way very soon, there is still hope that the show might find its spark again. As someone who genuinely wants to see the show succeed, I'd love to see it reconnect with the wider public again. If current Doctor Who is going to continue, this poll makes one thing very clear. It needs to reconnect with old and new fans alike, and fast. And I would agree with that. Now, I have reason to believe that the biggest money spinner for Doctor Who is not the current series, and that's for sure. I do believe it is Classic Who. That is where their money is really spinning. And they keep producing more so that the classic fans keep coming back to buy more. They're even trying to make the classic series in the form of the war games much more approachable for younger audiences to try and draw them into classic. Is it working? I don't think so. And the ratings are not very good for the current series. I don't think they help themselves releasing it at weird times onto a streaming service, and I don't think they help themselves by recording back to back either. I also don't think they've helped themselves, how many times can I say that, by making it blatantly obvious they're wading into political ideologies. And I've been very clear as to where I've stood with that in my reviews and in my videos. I don't mind stories having messaging in it. I don't have an issue with that. It's how you do it that creates the issue for me. So it's hardly surprising people have dropped out because they don't want to be preached at. They primarily want to be entertained. And if the message is integrated naturally and they get it, that's great. And if they don't, it really doesn't matter at all. So let's take a look at the stats chart. This chart is taken from the YouGov website itself. Which Doctor Who TV show do you like more? So this is the 4,344 adults that they surveyed. Now, I've looked at the age range specifically. However, you can click on the link below should you wish to and have a look at all of the statistics that they have done demographically. So here they go. Overall, 20% like the original series, 15% like the current series, 10% are about the same, 20% don't like either, 9% don't know, and 26% overall have seen neither. 18 to 24, only 7% have seen the original, 26% have seen current, 8% like them about the same, 9% don't like either, 12% don't know, and 39% have seen neither. In the 25 to 49 bracket, 9% prefer original. Current is 22%, 8% like them about the same, 22% don't like either, 8% don't know, and 39% have seen neither. And then in 25 to 49 bracket, 9% like the original, prefer the original, 22% prefer current, 8% like them about the same, 22% don't like either, 8% doesn't know, and 31% have seen neither. 50 to 64, excuse me, that was a motorbike going past, that was really noisy. 50 to 64 age bracket, 32% prefer the original, 10% prefer current, and 13% like them about the same, 21% don't like either, 8% don't know, and 15% have seen neither. And then 65 plus say that 34% like the original, only 4% like current, and 11% like them about the same, 20% don't like either, 8% don't know, and 22% have seen neither. So one thing that I was surprised about with these stats was that they did not include the new soft reboot Who as a separate sort of question. And I wish they had done that, because then we would have seen exactly what people were thinking about the current iteration of Doctor Who. So instead of having classic and current, it should have been classic and then old New Who and then current New Who. And I think it would have been a lot clearer. Now, I'm not surprised by the generational statistics at all, but the overall statistics is really classic wins with 20% of the vote. So that tells you what we need to know. Classic is the money spinner, and the new current series is failing to engage people. I just wish that they had done that extra survey stat. So what would your vote be? Please let me know in the comments section below. Would you prefer classic? Would you prefer New Who? Do you like both of them? About the same? Not at all? I'd be interested to know. And I'd be interested to know your opinions on these stats as well. And by the way, did you notice that my old background was back? This is because I'm becoming more tech savvy with the new setup that I introduced several months ago now. It's taken a while, but I am getting there. The only way is up, and like I said earlier, we are almost at 1,500 subscribers, so please feel free to hit the sub button. It'd be great to get there and get to the goal of 2,000 subscribers by this channel's 2nd birthday. Let me know what you think. Chat about it, don't shout about it. Thank you very much for joining me here today. I will release another video tomorrow at 4 p.m. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.